Hi guys, I'm Shelley and welcome to another bed and another edition of Top 5 Wednesday. We're now in, 5 in a row? Top 5 Wednesday was thought up by the lovely Lainey over at Ginger Reads Lainey, and she has a Goodreads group, and I will link her down below in the particulars, down in the blankets, so if you want to go check her out and join in. And this week, it was the top 5 audiobooks. I'm a big fan of audiobooks, being that sometimes I can't read, and so they get me through. So in no particular order, I'm just going to jump straight in as normal, starting with Danny Champion of the World by Roald Dahl, and this particular little mini cassette version. God, it's tiny. I used to listen to this on the way to school in the car, and you can't even get this anymore, this particular version, I don't think, and the cast in it is why I love it. Danny is played by Andrew Reed. Danny's father is played by Michael Williams, and the narrator is Richard Pascoe. And you have a soundtrack that kind of goes along with it. So when Danny is driving the car, you have car noises, and when the pheasants are being pheasanted, is there a word for that? Pheasanted? Poached. That's the word. When the pheasants are being poached, you have pheasant noises in the background. It's kind of creepy, really. I have such fond memories of this particular book because of this version. I listened to a different version the other day, but it wasn't the same. Next up is one that's going to be mentioned on everybody's, I'm pretty sure. It's the Harry Potter series, and this series is the Stephen Fry one, the English version, which was made by the BBC, and I think was on every single Christmas day for kids to listen to and keep them quiet. I've said this before in a couple of other videos. They got me through a really dark time when I was really sick. I wouldn't have known how half of the words and the names made up would be pronounced if it wasn't for Stephen Fry, to the point now that I pronounce them the way Stephen did, even though they're pronounced differently in the movies and everything else. Then you have a book I've talked about a lot, and that is Emlyn's Moon by Jenny Nimmo, which is the second in the Snow Spider trilogy. And this one, again, I love it because of its narration, and it was narrated by Sian Phillips, who is a Welsh actress. And the book is set in Welsh valleys, and she just, man. I have a slight Welsh accent when I start listening to this book because I start picking it up. She also narrated Green Smoke, which is another one of my favourite children's books. I can remember hearing that with the slight Welsh lilt. I think I loved the Welsh lilt because of Sian Phillips and because of Emlyn's Moon. Then we have The Stone Rose by Jacqueline Rayner, which is a Doctor Who story, and it is narrated, you guessed it, by Mr. David Tennant. What is brilliant about this is he puts on Rose's accent, so he puts on Billie Piper's accent, and he puts on Rose's mum's accent. And he talks, when he's narrating it, he talks in his usual Scottish accent, and then when he is being the Doctor, he talks in the Doctor's accent. So you have this. He does such a great mimic of Billie Piper as Rose. It's so funny. I love audiobooks because of the narration. They bring it to life for me, and David's voice playing the Doctor, and then being himself, and then being Billy, and then being all the other characters. It just, you get a bit confused for 5 minutes, and then you realise just how good a voice actor David Tennant is. It's brilliant. Last but not least, we have Neverwhere by Neil Gaiman, but not the audiobook version. I'm talking about the radio play version, which is slightly abridged, which has James McAvoy in it, and Natalie Dormer, and Benedict Cumberbatch, and Anthony Head. Again, I was really sick in bed, and it just, it took me away somewhere else. I loved it. They put it on for, I think it was about an hour to 2 hours over 3 or 4 nights, and it's gorgeous. I fell in love with Richard Mayhew, who is the main character, so much because of James McAvoy's voice. Who wouldn't fall in love with James McAvoy? And then Natalie Dormer, who plays Dora, and that confuses you. I love the radio play of it. So those are my top 5 audiobooks, one of them being a radio play, so I cheated, but there we go. I'd love to know what your top 5 are, so hit me up in the comments below if you've listened to any of the ones I talked about. Also, what are your thoughts on audiobooks? What are we thinking? Are they do they class as books? Because to me they do, because they are just as important. They're just a different way of finding out the story that you would have normally read. I hope you guys are good, and I may see you next week. I really want to carry on doing it. I'm loving doing the Top 5 Wednesday. See you guys soon. Bye. You can do nothing, Nia in the middle. Nia's got a funny tooth and a nose. Go squiggle, squiggle.